Hey VC, this is Richie Page. I wanted to do my first kind of vinyl clip today. So for the last week I've been thinking, who should I spotlight? And the answer came to me today, and I'm going to do Yngwie. So Yngwie Malmsteen. I was first introduced to Yngwie in, I want to say, 1985. I was a 10th grader in high school, and I saw my friend coming down the hallway with headphones on, and he goes, "Rich, you got to hear this. I found this guy, and he's better than Eddie Van Halen." And my first thought was, whoa, buddy, those are big words. And I think because he presented it that way, it instantly kind of created a competition in my mind between Yngwie and everyone else I loved as a guitar player at the time. Which would have been probably Jimmy Page, Richie Blackmore. I don't know if I was into Michael Schenker yet at that age. It was a weird time, man. The mid-'80s really got kind of grim for music for a while, But anyway, so yeah, the first album that I heard from Yngwie was Rising Force, and I actually just got my first copy on vinyl. I had bought it as a CD probably in '87. But anyway, here is... But yeah, this just literally came in the mail 2 days ago. Beautiful copy of it. It's got a little bit of I can see like a little bit of a crease like on the cover, but man, this thing is in great shape, man. The record was just killer. I always love this back photo of Yngwie, but yeah, so this was the first Yngwie album that I heard, Rising Force. It took me a while to warm up to Yngwie, honestly. It's kind of almost like the new wave of British heavy metal for me, where it just sounded really exotic. And I mean, obviously, Yngwie, compared to anything else that you'd heard in the mid-'80s, there wasn't really many people that were playing as aggressively as Yngwie. And yeah, but anyway, I mean, songs like Now Your Ships Have Burned and Little Savage, with Jeff Scott Soto doing the vocals on them. I mean, those are just sick songs, and Yngwie's guitar playing is amazing. I actually got a flexi disc of Black Star from, I want to say, Guitar Player back then too. I have it somewhere in one of these records. I actually think it's in my Marching Out. But this is my original version of Marching Out. I actually bought this probably in, again, '86 or '87. Great album. I Am a Viking, of course. Don't Let It End. A couple of my favorites are Soldier Without Faith, Caught in the Middle. Let me see if I've got the... Anyway, the original versions of this actually do come with the lyrics inside, which are pretty cool. This is the first kind of like non-full instrumental album that he did solo, but I've got some more interesting Yngwie stuff here in a second. Trilogy. This was like new singer. I can't even remember the guy's name. Hold on, it's Mark Bowles. He's good. It's a little cleaner and kind of more. I don't know, I guess you'd call it like European metal sounding to me. Like things like maybe like Halloween style vocals, like cleaner, higher, sexy picture of Yngwie and his cheetah or leopard print. Lyrics on this one again. But anyway, the second I got into Yngwie, I mean, like I do with just about any artist I'm into, is I'll go backwards and kind of like see like where did they come from. Back at the time, there was like an Yngwie demo that was floating around. So a friend of mine gave me like a 90-minute cassette of Yngwie demos, and it had Merlin's Castle on it, and oh man, just like an early version of Krakatoa, which actually might have been in Merlin's Castle now that I'm thinking about it. But it was really good. Oh my god, like a friend of mine had actually gone to a NAMM show, and Yngwie was there, and at the time, I guess he was drinking a lot, and so they were really trying to like keep him not drinking at this like hotel party. And my friend was smart enough to actually sneak a tape recorder in, and it's Yngwie sitting and playing like through a little amp, and it's about 45 minutes of him, talking about like other musicians. He was saying how like Eddie Van Halen's style was a little boring, and he was like finger tapping and stuff like that. And I'll do a clip down the road where I'll actually pull that tape out and you can hear some of the stuff. It's really interesting though, but the whole time Yngwie keeps like asking for a beer. He's like, "Hey man, where's my beer?" And they're like, "Oh, okay, Yngwie, we'll get it. The guy's coming with the cooler." But it's really funny, but they're really trying to not let him get drunk, which I guess down the road he did end up having drinking problems. This would have been, I'm gonna guess, maybe 1984, 85 this tape was from. And anyway, so then he did Odyssey. Odyssey is a great album, actually. It's Joe Lynn Turner on vocals. Really, really cool stuff. You know, the rest of the band is still intact at this point. It's Anders Johansson on drums, and then Jens on keyboard. I mean, just great musicians. And this album is really good. I mean, Deja Vu is amazing. This is the one that actually has the studio version of Krakatoa, which is, honestly, I like the solos on the demo versions better. If you're a huge Yngwie fan, I mean, now you can actually find it on YouTube. I think you can find most of them. God, I mean, like, you know, in the 80s, for us, it was like, dude, if you got like a bootleg, all that stuff, it was a big deal. I mean, nowadays, it's like you hear about it and you can look online and find it within probably 5 or 10 minutes. But, you know, I mean, definitely part of the thrill was acquiring like little things. And I got, again, this full concert's on YouTube now, but Live in '85, Japan, is a great concert video of Yngwie, just like in his prime. Just it's awesome. And then also, which I'll talk about in a second, is his Alcatraz days. I have both of those records. But anyway, so this is Steeler. This is when Shrapnel brought him, I think it was Shrapnel. Yeah, Shrapnel. So Mike Varney, you know, kind of discovered Yngwie in the States. Although I've heard rumors now that Kiss was actually scouting Yngwie at one point for a second, which is pretty weird. But I guess Gene Simmons called him and asked him, I don't even remember how tall he was, and he was good looking, something like that. Pretty much like a classic Gene Simmons thing. Anyway, this album is okay. I haven't listened to it in a little while. I'm gonna probably play it today and check it out. But it does actually have a really kick-ass, I think it's at the end of Hot on Your Heels, is like Yngwie's sort of like solo, like a guitar solo that's specifically him. But like the picture of Yngwie on the back is actually pretty cool. He's super young, man, and the guy just played with such ferocity, and here he is celebrating the Strat. Just badass shit, man. Yngwie was great. But anyway, these are actually really cool. I don't know how common these are now. I mean, I got these back probably in like the early 90s, maybe late 80s. And these were hard to find actually in San Diego back then. But anyway, Life Sentence, Graham Bonnet, one of my favorite Rainbow singers. He was with Michael Schenker. He's played with Kristen Pelletieri, Steve Vai, followed Yngwie in Alcatraz. But anyway, I've got both of these, No Parole from Rock and Roll and Life Sentence. These two records are great. Great albums. I would highly suggest that you search these out if you don't have them and you're an Yngwie fan. No Parole from Rock and Roll, Life Sentence. Graham Bonnet is the shit. Yngwie frickin' shreds. The songs are awesome. You've got Jet to Jet, Island in the Sun, General Hospital, Hiroshima, Mon Amour, Krina Kuri, Incubus, Too Young to Die, Too Drunk to Live, Bigfoot, Star Car Lane, and Suffer Me is on the studio album. Live, they actually do Since You've Been Gone and Evil Eye, like an early live version of Evil Eye, and also All Night Long. You know, Since You've Been Gone, and obviously on All Night Long and Rainbow Tracks. But, oh man, these albums are so awesome. And, I mean, Hiroshima, Mon Amour, and Krina Kuri, it's worth the cost of admission just for those two songs. And Bigfoot on the studio album is amazing. You know, I don't have actually a lot of the later Yngwie stuff on vinyl, so I'm not going to pull out CDs and kind of like try to mix the stuff up. But anyway, so that's my Yngwie vinyl collection. If you guys want to like chat about Yngwie more, I would love to actually talk about him. I haven't been able to do it in years. You know, most of my friends that I grew up with, you know, we all grew apart, but you know, I don't see him as much as I used to. But man, we were so obsessed with Yngwie. We would literally get together every night and like watch the concert videos, and just it was the greatest thing ever. And I've seen Yngwie live at least 3 or 4 times. One of my favorite like show experiences was, I'm gonna guess I saw him maybe in like '93 at a club in San Diego called the Bacchanal, and he wasn't as popular back then. You know, just, you know, the Guitar Hero thing had kind of come and went, and so the club was still packed, but I was literally in the front row. I mean, Yngwie was playing, the stage is like 1.5 feet off the ground, so Yngwie was playing literally like a foot in front of me, And as a big Yngwie fan, to like be that close to him, like shredding for an hour and a half, was amazing. And the guy throws out like so many guitar picks during the show. So I left the show with like a grip of his picks. And again, I'll show those in another video. They're white, like extra heavy. Probably Fender picks, I'd guess. But yeah, but I got a ton of like picks. But man, to be that close to Yngwie and watch him like play when he was still, I would argue, like in his prime, was really, really sick. So anyway, huge Yngwie fan. I wanted to kind of share my Yngwie stuff. I wanted to start small, get kind of used to like talking about the vinyl and stuff. I feel like I'm rushing a little bit on this clip, but anyway, I'll work the rust out and stuff like that. You can see I've been bringing in some of my records into my office. You know, I can't dedicate my whole studio to vinyl, so I have like 4 other spots that I keep my records, but I brought in, I don't know, I want to say at least probably 100 or 150 albums. There's more down here. And then I have to keep my art reference books in the office because that's what I do for a living. My studio at home it's small. It's actually nice though. It's a really cool room, all dedicated to art music, which is not a bad thing. And I'm slowly upgrading my stereo system. I'll show it a little later, but like I've got my dad's Marantz and some older stuff I had as a kid, and also I've got a linear tracking turntable that the tracking device sticks, and so like if anyone out there has like an old, I believe the one that I have is a Techniques that I bought maybe in like '83. It's a great turntable with a really good stylus on it, but yeah, the arm is sticking. So if anyone knows any place I can maybe sand it to get it fixed, I would actually maybe like to try it and see if it's as good as I remember it was. Anyway, so thanks for tuning in. Add a subscription if you haven't subscribed to my page. I'm thinking coming up I'm going to do maybe Sabbath, Dio, Ozzy, something like that. We'll see. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. I'll talk to you later. Bye.